Most people want to be seen online. They post their photos, their opinions, their lives, their relationships, their achievements. But then, there's another type of person. The person who watches everything and posts almost nothing. They scroll, they observe, they disappear. No profile pictures, no stories, no personal updates. Sometimes, they don't even reply. And after a while, people start thinking things like, why are they so quiet? Are they insecure? Do they not have a life? But honestly, the psychology behind people who stay invisible on social media is much deeper than most people realize. Because not everyone stays quiet online for the same reason. Some people stay invisible because they're protecting their peace. And once you understand this, you start seeing social media very differently. Most people use social media to feel connected, to feel noticed, to feel validated. Every like, every comment, every reaction gives the brain a small emotional reward. And over time, people slowly become addicted to being seen. But some people notice something early. The more they share online, the more mentally exhausted they feel. Because social media doesn't just expose your life to people, it exposes your mind to comparison, judgment, pressure, noise. And some people become very sensitive to that noise. So instead of becoming louder online, they slowly disappear. Not because they hate people, not because they're boring, but because they feel calmer when less people know about them. And honestly, people who stay invisible online usually spend more time observing than expressing. They notice how fake people become for attention. They notice how everyone starts performing online, how people carefully choose what to show and what to hide. And after a while, they stop feeling connected to it. Because to them, social media starts feeling less like real life and more like emotional marketing. So they stay quiet. But there's another reason too, a deeper one. Some people stay invisible online because they're emotionally private. They don't feel comfortable turning their emotions, their relationships, or their personal life into content. And sometimes, they learn this after getting hurt. Maybe they shared too much before. Maybe they trusted the wrong people. Maybe they realized not everyone watching them actually supports them. So now, their brain associates privacy with emotional safety. And once that happens, they stop needing attention from strangers. That's why some of the quietest people online are actually the most emotionally self-aware, because they no longer feel the need to constantly prove they exist. And the strange part is, people often misunderstand them. Society treats visibility like confidence. If you post a lot, people assume you're social, successful, happy. But if you stay invisible, people assume something is wrong. But being invisible online doesn't always mean someone is insecure. Sometimes, it means they finally became comfortable living without constant validation. And honestly, that's becoming rare now. Because social media quietly trains people to connect their worth to attention, views, likes, followers, reactions. And when someone chooses to step away from that, it almost feels unnatural now. But some people realize something important. The more time they spend trying to be seen, the more disconnected they feel from themselves. So they slowly stop performing, stop posting, stop explaining themselves to everyone. And instead, they start protecting their energy, their privacy, their peace. That's why many people who stay invisible online usually have very rich inner worlds. They think deeply, observe deeply, feel deeply, but they don't always feel the need to display everything publicly. And honestly, sometimes silence online is not loneliness. Sometimes it's freedom. Freedom from comparison, freedom from pressure, freedom from needing approval every day. Because eventually, some people realize something. Not everyone deserves access to your life, and not every moment needs to become content. So if you're someone who stays invisible on social media, there may be nothing wrong with you at all. Maybe your brain is just tired of performing for the world. Maybe you stopped confusing attention with connection. And maybe you finally realized that peace feels better when it's private.